Are you getting enough exercise? And the big question is, what is enough exercise? Hey, it's Jack.
And Alicia.
And in today's video, we're going to be discussing the minimum physical activity guidelines for those 55 plus. So let's get into it.
Okay, so let's firstly talk about aerobic exercise, or you might call it cardiovascular. So we're working our heart and our lungs, doing things like walking, cycling and swimming.
Maybe even dancing or something
Yeah,
else
there's
like that.
a lot of exercises that work your aerobic or cardiovascular system. Now, the physical activity guidelines recommend a minimum of 150 minutes of moderate intensity cardio or aerobic exercise and 75 minutes of vigorous. And you can do a bit of a mixture of both there.
Yeah, that's right. And what is moderate intensity aerobic exercise? Well, this would be if Alicia and I were going for a walk. I'm still able to maintain a conversation with Alicia, but I might start to get a little bit puffed, but I'm still able to speak sentences, as you can see me acting there. And vigorous intensity exercise, Alicia, that would be I'm not really able to maintain it.
Yeah, you're getting more shorter breath and it's more intense.
Okay, so those are the minimum physical activity guidelines for cardio training. Now, what percentage of people do you think actually get this done, the minimum guidelines? Well, if we pick one age group, let's just say 55 to 64, when you look at the statistics there, only 72% of people meet those minimum physical activity guidelines. So at Be Mobile, we're really trying to promote cardiovascular exercise as much as possible to meet those minimum guidelines.
All right, now let's talk about strength or resistance or weight training. Now, the guidelines recommend at least twice a week for that type of training.
And when you're doing resistance or weight or strength training, what you want to be doing is taking your body through big movements, such as picking things up from the ground, squatting, pressing things overhead, taking your body through a full range of movement and making sure that you're challenging your muscles.
That's right. And if we look at how many people are meeting those guidelines, and specifically in that 55 to 64 year age group, only 22% are meeting the strength guidelines.
So as we said before with cardiovascular training, we really want to get as many people doing it as possible. So the same applies for resistance training. We know the benefits are so great, so 2 sessions per week is the minimum. So those are the minimum physical activity guidelines when it comes to aerobic training and resistance training exercise. And if you're meeting or exceeding those current guidelines, that is awesome. And if you're below those guidelines, or maybe you haven't even started exercising, that is fine too. It's all about just finding that starting place for you, whether that's a 10-minute morning walk or maybe doing 1 resistance training a week, finding that place and then slowly building up over time so that you can hopefully one day meet those minimum guidelines.
That's right. We know there's such a huge host of benefits from exercise that everybody can experience. So get moving today. See you later.